Dobro utro from my car. I have a bit of a news to share. My life took an unexpected turn and I pretty much find myself homeless, living from my car, living in my car for the last, more than 2 weeks now. And I will explain everything, but yeah, I just woke up, so let me just sort myself out and make some breakfast and coffee, and we can have a little bit of a chat. First, I just want to go and say that homelessness isn't something to romanticize or dramatize. It's not something to use as clickbait. It's a serious social issue. And most people don't choose to be homeless. They don't choose this lifestyle. However, I did have other options. Maybe not good ones. I chose this, to be homeless, basically, to live from my car, because I'm living on a budget and I really didn't want to spend a lot of money on booking a hotel or finding an apartment for this period. I'm going to explain everything in just a bit. A bit of a backstory for everyone who is new to this channel. So back in January 2025, I quit my job. And then in May that year, I bought this car and I moved to Bulgaria with it in hopes to settle here and build my new life and also to buy a property. Because I knew I would be exploring a lot, driving a lot, I bought a vehicle that I can turn into a home, basically, or like at least like a overnight situation. So I put this bed inside so that I can just venture out and explore and sleep wherever, because sometimes in Bulgaria when you are driving around, it's pretty remote and it's not so easy to find accommodation. So I thought this would be very practical. But basically since then, for more than a year, I have been staying in Bulgaria through pet sittings and house sittings. That's how I basically saved up on money and also was able to stay in different regions and explore and get to know, get familiar with Bulgaria in that way. And I would then basically just during summer venture out on little trips, little excursions, house hunting expeditions, car camping, road trips, and then sleep in my car. But usually it would be like for one night. I think I did the longest one for like 6 nights last year when I was in the Black Sea coast, and I went to Turkey as well. But yeah, this was never meant to be like a long period kind of situation. So yeah, let me get into how that happened. So how did I end up here? Well, the last time you saw me, I was doing my pet sitting, house sitting in Stara Zagora region. I was in that house for exactly 3 months actually. And my birthday was coming up. So I really wanted to take a road trip for like my birthday for like a week or so. And because I was taking care of 2 cats, which cannot be left alone for more than 2 days, I thought, well, maybe this is a good time to actually switch locations and go to a different house sit. I've been there for 3 months and I realized that's not the region where I want to purchase my house. So there was really no reason for me to stay there. I wanted to go to the region where I knew there's going to be more options for me to buy the property that I want. So I was like, okay, let's then just leave. Let's find a new sitter and go on this road trip, find the next place. And basically after the road trip, just go and switch to my new house sitting. That was the plan. So it was supposed to be a week-long car camping road trip on the Black Sea coast. That's how it started. And it was amazing. And I was in my favorite spot on the Black Sea coast and parked on the same spot, enjoying life, enjoying my birthday. It was great, but it's not the most comfortable thing living out of your car. You don't have a bathroom, you don't have a kitchen, there's only a bed inside, and all my stuff is inside, so there isn't a lot of room. So how I arranged things were, yes, I was supposed to have a week-long road trip, but things didn't really go to plan. Even before I ventured out on this expedition, the timeline just started to be prolonged, and this trip was getting longer and longer and longer. So first of all, I had to move out of the place where I was 3-4 days prior to what I was planning. So that already made the trip longer. And then also my next host said he's gonna be in the house a little bit after what I was initially hoping that it would be. So it already became a 2-week-long thing. But then when I was on the coast, I think it was about 10 days or something like that, which was fine. But yeah, I started to really get tired, miss the comfort and all of that. But my next host then texted me and was like, hey, can you come basically tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So it was perfect for me. Like I said, I already missed the comfort. So I drove across the country to go and meet the host. And then as I was there, the host told me that basically his plans changed and he's going to be staying at the house another 10 days, which meant that I cannot move in for another 10 days because there's just no space there. And he did say that I can, stick around, I can park there, sleep in my car, use his bathroom, use the electricity and anything that I need. I just cannot sleep inside. And also, he needs his space. It's a small house, it's a small cottage. And also he's getting a guest. So for me, that was just like, it felt like I'm intruding into his space, and that's his house and his plans changed. Like, for me, it was like, yeah, of course, like, no problem. You're the boss. For me, it just meant that I'm gonna have to find a solution, and I didn't really have a plan B. My plan B is to stay and live in my car. I guess for me, there is a big difference between I'm going on this car camping road trip for a week and then I just return back home and life is normal, and going with your car, venturing out without knowing when or where this will end, and without having a home, without having a place to put your things to return to. So I have to say that those first few days, there was a bit of an anxiety and not knowing where I should go, how I should tackle this, or should I just go book a hostel and stay there, have it easy. But then I guess wanted to challenge myself a little bit. I did go and book a room for a couple of nights because I really needed to sort myself out. I needed to take a proper shower. I needed to wash my hair, charge my electronics. I did some editing. I also had to just rest a little bit and get a little bit more comfortable because I was coming with a bit of a cold and I just needed that space. So yeah, I haven't been living in the car. It's now been 16, 17 days, like consistently. I did go in between and, take some time off of this lifestyle because, yeah, it's not easy. And I have really, really a big respect for all the people who do choose this because, like, living in the car has actually become kind of, I don't want to call it a trend because a lot of people, again, like, it's not something that would be their first choice, but I do see it's becoming very common now in the United States. And I have so much respect for people who do this full time because it is very difficult. There is not much room in a car, and mine is a station wagon, which means like it has a bit more room than a normal, I don't know, like how do you say, a limousine or a coupe. Oh my god, I don't know how I could live in a coupe. But yeah, it is a little bit more comfortable, but still it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to live full-time in a car. And one of the biggest issues is actually finding a good spot where you can do this. And I'm so lucky that yesterday I found this spot. It's summer, it's hot. And despite what you see around me, like Bulgaria is full of forests, like beautiful forests, it's actually not that simple to find a space that you can just wild camp and that it would have a lot of shade. A lot of the spaces where I was parked were just like completely exposed. And if you're living out of a car, it's very difficult to do that in summer. It's just super hot. And also, like, my car doesn't have AC. So it's been an adventure, let's say that. So yeah, even for that reason, like, I really just needed to be in a room, in an apartment with an AC and just cool down and all of that. But yeah, yesterday I found this spot, and I still have a couple of days, more than a couple of days, before I can move into the house. Hopefully the plans don't change again, because then I'm gonna be really desperate and I'm gonna have to find a solution. But yeah, I found this spot next to a beautiful lake, which, yeah, wasn't easy because a lot of the space around the lake is either private or completely overgrown, or it's just completely exposed, like there's no trees or anything. So this was so lucky. I'm so happy. So that's why I think I'm gonna stay here for a couple of days. I might have to run and do some groceries and also, yeah, charge my electronics. That has been, I think, one thing that I will change and probably will need to upgrade is get a proper like battery charger, like a big one, just so that I'm a little bit more independent and free in that way, that I don't have to go into civilization that often. But yeah, this is basically it. So yeah, this is day, I think, 17, and I have 3-4 more to go. And then hopefully I'm in my new home, which is beautiful, and the location is freaking amazing. So I just hope that everything goes through, and the next video that I make, I'm in my new house sitting. And yeah, if you would like me to make like a daily vlog, like a day in my life of my routines, how I live in my car, comment below and I can make that as well, hopefully, because yeah, my batteries are always like half empty, so it's a little bit difficult. But yeah, I'm just gonna go about my day now. I'm probably gonna find a spot to go swim in the lake and just enjoy this place, read a book. That's it. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a bit of a wild thing this 2 weeks, but still, like, I'm so grateful to have the car, to have these spots, this nature, to be able to wild camp in Bulgaria. Also, like, so many incredible places I've seen and people that I've met in these 2 weeks. Like, yeah, it's been wild. It's gonna be a summer that I will probably never forget, because it was not intended that I would be living in my car for 3 weeks. But, you know, the universe was like, you want adventure? Here you go. So I'm just rolling with it and trying to make the best out of it. And that's all that you can do, basically. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess that's maybe the lesson and the message for all of you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, for supporting the channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.